A pleasant day to each and everyone. I am Divine Crisvilla and I'm going to discuss my topic which was all about professional ethics. So, what do we mean by professional ethics? So, these are the principles that govern the behavior of a person or group in a business environment. And to be added, it does provide rules on how a person should act towards other people and institution in such an environment. So the ACM, or what we call the Association of Computing Machinery, has identified 24 imperatives of professional conduct for IT professional. Section 1 outlines the fundamental ethical considerations, while Section 2 provides additional, more specific considerations of professional conduct. So it does talks about more on deep details regarding to the ethics. Section 3 is intended specifically for individuals who have a leadership role, whether in a workplace or in a volunteer capacity such as organizations like ACM principles involving compliance with this code are laid out in Section 4. So they all have the information that has a connection within the professional ethics. So proceed. General moral imperatives. From the word moral imperative, it is a strong felt principle or what we call the truth or the basis that compels the person to act. It has something to do an action that forces by an individual. So there are things that an ACM member must do. So first, contribute to a society and human well-being. This principle concerning the quality of life of all people affirms an obligation to protect fundamentals of human rights and to respect the diversity of all cultures. It has something to do with the things which that talks about pertaining to the very beneficial towards people in general. A safe social environment, human well-being includes a safe natural environment. Therefore, computing professionals who design and develop systems must be alert to and make others aware of any potential damage to the local or global environment. So, it is very it talks with generally as a human being and doing something that very beneficial and that really contributes a lot to our society, within our society or even with the other society that is have a positive impact in general. Another one is to avoid harm to others. Harm means injury or negative consequences such as undesirable loss of information, loss of property, property damage, or unwanted environmental impacts. So those words I have mentioned are the negative impacts or possible outcomes if this principle would be eliminated. This principle prohibited the use of computing technology of ways that result in harm to any of the following users: the general public, employees, and employers. Harmful action includes intentional destruction or modification of files and programs leading to serious loss of resources or unnecessary expenditures of human resources, such as the time and effort required to purge system of computer viruses. This could both strange and in circumstances as well. There are things that can harm other people even in computing technologies wherein includes intentional destructions that destructs others. To minimize the possibility of indirect harming others, computing professionals must minimize malfunctions by following generally accepted standards for system design and testing. The computer professional has the additional obligation to report any signs of system danger that might result in serious personal or social damage. Those things might help to minimize malfunctions having the indirect harmful system. Third is be honest and trustworthy. Honesty is an essential component of trust. So, as being said, it is very important and it has a significant. So, a computer professional has a duty to be honest about his or her own qualifications and about any circumstances that might lead to conflicts of interest. Everything that includes to the qualifications must contain the real and honest things and words, especially the details and information which has the connection of entering information onto the computer system. Another is be fair and take action not to discriminate. The values of equality, tolerance, respect for others, and the principles of equal justice govern with this imperative. Discrimination on the basis of race, sex, religion, age, disability, national origin, or other factors is an explicit violation of ACM policy and will not be tolerated. It does contain the equality for all actions and details without having the discrimination. So, race, which is talks about the category of humankind that shares certain distinctive physical traits. Sex, wherein said that it is either male or female categories. Religion, the belief in or worship. However, it does not justify unauthorized use of computers resources, not do they provide an adequate basis for violation of any other ethical imperatives of this code. So for the next, honor property rights including copyrights and patent. Violation of copyrights, patent, trade secrets, and the terms of license agreements is prohibited by law in most circumstances. So this part has been tackled before to our certain reporter wherein there's a violation when having an action with the said words or doings I have mentioned. Even when software is not so protected, such violations are not contrary to professional behavior and authorized duplication of materials must not be condoned. Another is give proper credit for intellectual property. Computing professionals are obligated to protect the integrity of intellectual property. Specifically, one must not take credit for others' idea or work, even in cases where the work has not been explicitly protected by copyright, patent, and etc. It has a significance of giving and using proper credit to the information or details or other statements of the other system. It's just like doing like an illegal copying the other's information, which can give a circumstances and other negative impacts. Next is respect the privacy of others. There is increased potential for violating the privacy of individuals and groups. It is the responsibility of the professionals to maintain the privacy and integrity of the data describing individuals. This includes taking precautions to ensure the accuracy of data as well as protecting it from unauthorized access or accidental disclosure to inappropriate individual. So this is also important because each of us has a privacy of such things. User data observed during the normal duties of system operation and maintenance must be treated with strictest confidentiality except in cases where it is evidence for the violation of law or organizational regulations. To be exact, everyone is intended to give the respect with the privacy accurately, because the privacy that is really needs to be kept secret is very confidential to that certain individual. And for the last, honor confidentiality, the principle of honesty extends to issues of confidentiality of information whenever one has made an explicit promise to honor confidentiality or implicitly, when private information not directly related to the performance of one's duties becomes available. The ethical concern is to respect all obligations of confidentiality to employees, clients, and users, unless discharged from such obligations by requirements of the law or other principles of this code. So whatever where you belong, either an employee or employer, clients or etc., you have an obligation to keep and respect the confidentiality of the principles. And that's all for my report for the topic of professional ethics. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.